Hello and welcome. Now that we have installed the backup server and the web server, let's put a website to the web server so we can back it up in the backup server. So the web application that I am planning to install is the Nextcloud application. So we will install Nextcloud application in the web server, so later we can use the FreeNAS operating system to copy the website contents and as well as the database files. So let's install the Nextcloud. Go to the Google and search for the Nextcloud. Go to the nextcloud.com, get Nextcloud, download for server. Alright, now here is the archive file to install. So let's access our Ubuntu box. So let's access the Ubuntu machine so we can download this file and install it. This is our Ubuntu machine. Let me get the IP address of this machine. IP ADDR. The IP address is 192.168.235.134. So I will SSH into it using PuTTY, so that's more easy for me to navigate between the web browser and the other virtual machines. I will open PuTTY, type the IP address of the server 192.168.235.134. accept the key. Yes, login as an Ubuntu, password Ubuntu. Here we can see that I have accessed my Ubuntu box. Let me increase the size of the fonts, change settings, from the appearance change, put it to 18, apply. Alright, I hope now you can see it better. So let me clear the screen. We have to download the file from here. So right click on the download and copy the link of the download. Go to the Ubuntu machine and type wget, paste the URL and hit enter. It's going to take some time to download the zip package. And let's list the contents. Here we can see we have successfully downloaded the file. Now you can download the signature, the hash of this file, to make sure everything has been downloaded without any error. So I will take the SHA-256 zip, the SHA-256 hash for the .zip file, because here we have downloaded the .zip file. So let me download the hash file, the signature, wget, paste the URL, list the files. Let me clear the screen, list the files. Now to verify if the file has been downloaded without any error, you can just write this command, SHA-256 sum with the option C, This is the name of the signature, and we're checking it against this file, which is the zip file. And if we enter, we can see that the package was downloaded without any error. Okay, now let's move this zip file to the HTML directory where the contents are served by the Apache web server. So let's move Nextcloud to var www HTML. Cannot move, permission denied. Okay, let me change the user to sudo su. Okay, now let's move the file to the HTML directory. So in the Nextcloud to var www HTML. Now if we cd to var www HTML, we can see the zip file. Let's unzip the file using command unzip. If you didn't install this tool, you can install it using command sudo apt install zip. I have already installed the tool, so let me unzip the file. Unzip Nextcloud. It will take some time to unzip the contents. Alright, clear the screen. Now if we long list the directories, here we can see that Nextcloud directory, here the contents of the zip files have been extracted, but we can see that the user and the group and the user owner and the group owner are a root, and they have the read, write and execute permissions. Others have only execute, and the group has execute and read permission. If we check the processes, using this command, we can see that Apache 2 is using the www data user. So currently here, this user, which is used by Apache 2, has no permissions over the Nextcloud. It has only execute permission. So because it's on the other user, but it's not part of the group and it's not the user owner. So what we will do, we will change the ownership of this directory using command change ownership. Type the command chown with the option R for recursive. Write the user, which is www data colon the group www dash data, and the folder www HTML and Nextcloud. Now let's long list. We can see that Nextcloud directory is now owned by the www.data user. Okay, so let's install the Nextcloud application. So just navigate to the Nextcloud directory. Okay, now here the PHP Nextcloud is built in PHP, and we have just set up our Ubuntu box, and we didn't install PHP. So in order to render the page properly, we have to install PHP. To install PHP, just write sudo sudo apt get install php. Press Y. It's going to take some time and install php. The PHP has been installed successfully. Clear the screen. Check for the version. PHP version. We have installed PHP 7.4.3 version. Okay, now that we have installed PHP, let's install some other dependencies that are required by the Nextcloud for the installation, prior to the installation. So we have to install MariaDB server and modphp for the version 7.4 of all PHP. So press enter. There is a permission error. It's sudo. Press Y. It's going to take some time to install these dependencies. These are other dependencies that we have to install before we install Nextcloud. It's PHP GD, JSON, MySQL, curl, and mbstring. We have to install these dependencies because these are required for Nextcloud to work. So press Y. And this last command to install the remaining dependencies. Again, permission error. Let's type sudo, execute the command with the sudo privileges. Press Y to install the dependencies. Alright, let's clear the screen. Now we have installed all the dependencies that are required for the Nextcloud installation. Let me reboot the Apache server. So in order to do that, you have to type the command system ctl restart Apache 2. Let's we go to Nextcloud directory. Okay, here we can see the screen. It requires us to create an admin account. So what will be the username for the admin account? Let's make it simple and say admin. Password will be Ubuntu. So week Ubuntu 123. Okay, and here it requires database user, database password and database name, but we haven't created a database yet. So this application Nextcloud requires a database. So in order to create the database, let's go back to the Ubuntu box and clear, type MariaDB. Here create database Nextcloud. Okay, show databases. Okay, now we have created a Nextcloud database. Okay, now let's create a user that will be using this database, will have privileges over this database. So we will create a user called Ubuntu at localhost identified by the Nextcloud 19. This will be the password of the user. Press enter. Query executed. Let's grant the permission to this user on this database. In order to do that, just type this command: grant all privileges on Nextcloud to Ubuntu, which is our user, and Nextcloud is the name of the database. So it will grant all privileges on Nextcloud, the database, to the user Ubuntu that we have created. We have created it here. Okay, now let's exit here. Let's go to the Nextcloud web UI, and let's put the database username as Ubuntu. Password of the database was Nextcloud 19. Database name is Nextcloud, and finish. This is going to take a while to complete the installation, so I'll pause the video and resume back. The installation has been completed successfully. In the final step, we will back up the contents of this website, which is running on our web server. We will copy the contents and as well as the database files to the backup server, and then we will intentionally delete these files on the web server, so to check if we can successfully restore the files from the backup server. So that will be the third and final session that we will have with our FreeNAS box.